Okay, we're going to look at three ideas here. And the first one with exponents is, what's it about when you take a power and you raise it to a power? How does that look? And what's the rule for it? Well, say you had 3 squared and you wanted to raise it to the power of 4. That's what it would look like. Well, what it means is you've got 3 squared times 3 squared times 3 squared multiplied by itself 4 times. Well, we know by the first law of exponents that we should write down the 3 and add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, and that's 8. But hey, there's a much easier way to do it. When you have a power and you raise it to a power, all you do is multiply those powers so that you can go 2 times 4 and the answer is 3 to the 8th. Well, that's the law, the exponent law for a power to a power. If you raise a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. And a is any integer you like except 0. It doesn't work with 0. And m and n are whole numbers. Let's take a look at the power of a quotient. A fraction like this, 5 over 6. Say we got 5 over 6 cubed. Well, some people might go, oh, it's 5 cubed divided by 6. Well, you got to be real careful. If you have 5 over 6 with a bracket and you're cubing it, what does it mean? That you're going 5 over 6 times 5 over 6 times 5 over 6. And if you know how to multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. 5 times 5 times 5 on the top, 6 times 6 times 6 on the bottom. Well, that's 5 cubed over 6 cubed. But I didn't have to do all that thinking because there's a rule. And the rule is this. When you have a quotient like this, when you have a fraction, a ratio of numbers here, and you raise it to a power, that power sits on both of the bases there that are in the fraction. So a over b to the n is a to the n over b to the n. N's any whole number, and a and b are counting numbers except 0, negative or positive. Okay, let's look at one more thing. Let's look at the power of a product. What if you had something like this, 3 times 4, and you raise it to the 5th power? Well, you could go, oh, what does that mean? That means 3 times 4 times 3 times 4, 5 times. And if we listed them all out, and we rearrange, we've got 5 3s and 5 4s all multiplied together. Because when you're multiplying, there's a thing called the associative principle that says it doesn't matter the order that we do this in. We can just, as long as we count the right number, we can change the order of all of this. Put all the 3s together, that's 3 to the 5th power. Put all the 4s together, it's 4 to the 5th power. And instead of doing all that thinking, there's a rule. When you have a product and you raise it to a power of n, that power sits on both of the integers that are there, both of the bases. So ab to the mth power is a to the m times b to the n, and m some whole number. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 3 laws, and I think I've used up a bit of time. Maybe I can do some of the examples in another video.